Okay. Alrighty. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so as always, please unmute if you have any questions. And we can also do a, here's the new thing. So I announced this on Thursday, but you guys weren't, some of you weren't there. So if you are wondering whether you are in a proper position and you're stuck and you're like, well, this kind of feels right, but I'm not really sure. What you can do is unmute and tell me that you want me to spotlight you, and I will. You can undo your or show me your view, your camera view, and then I can actually help you get into the right position right there. And while you think, well, I don't want to interrupt everybody, that's actually helpful for everybody, I promise, because you're not the only one with that question. And in a regular class, I would often stop and have everybody look at something, so a shift that I might make so that others could make it in their body. So please feel free to do that. Okay, here we go. I just lost it. Oh my gosh, hold on. There it is. Okay, so my focus for this class is spine and glutes. So we're really going to get the spine working in a bit. For now, just take it up. Inhale. And exhale. Start by just taking that chin and collapsing through the chest, collapsing through the core, and you're just going to roll it down. The knees are soft here. Let everything hang. Arms, shoulders, head. Now squeeze the glutes, very important, to pull yourself up. The glutes are what are pulling you. Roll the shoulders back, inhale it up. Exhale, down, chin to chest, and roll. Everything hangs. Now squeeze those glutes. The knees are soft, they're slightly bent. That's it. Okay. You're gonna take your left knee, you're gonna bend it, and you're gonna reach your right shoulder toward your right hip. Come back to center. Opposite. Reach that right knee forward, left side of the body reaches. So my shoulder and my hip are reaching for one another. Inhale here, exhale. Try to keep the head upright if you can. Inhale. We are opening up that spine, side to side. Last time. Awesome. I'm going to turn so you can see me. You can be in whatever position that you want. Facing forward, but I want you to see me. So drop that xiphoid process down, first key. Then come down, straighten this leg. Drop it and straighten it. You're going to feel it right through here, right through the psoas. So I'm thinking about taking my knee and dropping it down and forward. It's like this diagonal motion. Notice that the rest of my body really isn't moving. You're gonna feel movement through the foot slightly. Excellent. Now, this is gonna remain straight. Feel that lengthening through there. Take the body and hip hinge it forward. Automatically, the minute that you hinge forward, I'm hoping that the front leg attached to that glute, that you feel that glute kick in, because we have lengthened that glute now and it's got all the weight on it. We're going to come forward. I want you to think about the knee coming forward. Knee comes forward. Find that balance. Keep the xiphoid process tucked into the core. That's it. Now, come back to center. From here, I've dropped that xiphoid process down. That's the first thing. The next thing is we are going to bend both knees. From here, it's it's a weight shift. Make sure that you are like on train tracks so that your feet aren't together. They're literally on train tracks. Okay, so there's a little bit more balance there. Now from here, I want you to go forward, come up, this leg lengthens, come down. Wait, I did that wrong. Hold on. Talking too much. Hold on. Here we go. Lengthen through. I went the wrong way. We're going backwards. Okay, so lengthen the front leg. Now push through the floor. Now bend this front leg. Knee bends. Weight shifts to the back leg. Push using the glute. Okay, so I am pushing through the floor, but my main focus right here is squeezing that glute up. Squeeze that glute up. Squeeze that glute up. Squeeze. One more. Squeeze. We're gonna do the other side. Xiphoid process. And knee. Right, just that knee. Here we go. I'm gonna extend, coming forward, so I've got a nice hip hinge, and I'm gonna lengthen that back leg. That's gonna stay long. All my weight is on the front foot, bringing that knee forward and back. So the glute attached to this front leg, hopefully, is on fire. That's the goal here. Keep that xiphoid process tucked into the core. Watch that knee. You want to send it straight forward. Not because I'm necessarily worried about you injuring yourself. I mean, that's a possibility, but really we're taking it nice and slow. But because I want the muscles on either side of the leg to strengthen. So if we keep it in that middle position, we're doing a better job of strengthening. All right, or equalizing the strength. Here we go. So upright, we're gonna bend the knee, weight shifts to the back. Press through the floor, but really squeeze that glute. Come forward. Center, push back, squeeze that glute. This is a conscious contraction, guys. You need to really think about that contraction. And release. Okay, well done. So that was your balance track, and we got some glute work in there. You're gonna grab your ball or your pillow. Here we go. Bend the knees. Bring the feet closer together. Drop that xiphoid. Roll the shoulders. Keep it down. And soften through the face and neck. Lift the heels. Here we go. So I am in a bend position. Take it in, out, in, out. And pulse it in. Take it out, in. Pulse it. Take it down. Take it up. Down. And up. Just hold. Okay, so this is a squeeze. Down. And squeeze the glutes to come up. Here we go. Go down, go down, go down. I'm gonna show you here. I'm thinking about taking my booty back Then I squeeze to come back up. Booty goes back. Squeeze the glutes to come back up. Now the inner thighs are consistently squeezed, right? So we're in an isometric hold. One more time. That's it. Good. Come to, you're already in this position. I just wanted to turn to you. Okay, here we go. Pulse it, pulse it, pulse it, pulse it. Okay, take it out. You're gonna just place it by you. Go ahead into a first position. Bend the knees. Go up onto the toes and now move the feet in so that the heels are pressing against one another, okay? I'm in an upright position here, but then I'm gonna hip hinge. Remember, hips start down low, not up here, but down low. So think about that when you go to extend it back, xiphoid process. I want you to squeeze one glute, release, come back to center. Squeeze the other glute, release, come back to center. Squeeze, center, squeeze, and center. Squeeze, center, squeeze, and center. Keep that xiphoid in. Almost done. Woo, great. Walk that out. Okay, so I know I said it's spine. It is spine and glute because you can't really take glutes. So many people think about core just being the abdominal area, but really core is your entire trunk. And when I'm thinking about strengthening, I'm thinking about today, strengthening, but also creating mobility through the spine. So in order for the spine to have even more mobility, it's imperative that we have strong glutes to support that mobility. Otherwise, the spine is going to be straight and it's not going to allow that mobility because it's fearful that the glutes and the core cannot support it, right? So we have to have that strength in order to have the mobility because that comes from the brain and from the nervous system. Okay. So here is one we haven't done in a while. I want you to think about your hips remaining square to yourself or to whatever you're looking at, right? Taking that leg, one leg out, you're going to keep it low. Please keep it low. From the hip, externally rotate. Take this foot and put it into also like a first position. Now, I'm going to, keeping it low, bring it around. And I'm continuously thinking external rotation, external rotation. So I keep creating more external rotation as I draw everything up, externally rotate through the opposite leg and stay square and drop my xiphoid process down. So many things going into all of this. Shoulders are relaxed, face is relaxed. Now, here we go. This glute, so the standing glute is working, yes, because that's your stability glute, but this glute is lifting up, up, up. And don't worry if it's not to the beat of the music because I'd rather it were slower and that you really felt that glute kick in. So it's the external rotation that's really going to get that glute firing right now. So keep thinking. And now hold. That glute is now isometrically contracted. Just hold, just hold, just hold. Check in with the rest of your body. What's going on? Be very aware. Now, from here, circles. And very specifically, I'm going back and back and back and back. Woo. Okay, hold it. Make sure you're nice and upright on this standing leg. So this leg is getting very tired. This glute is getting extra tired. I want you to take the heel of this moving leg, and you're gonna squeeze it back, 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 back. You got this. Keep thinking external rotation, don't lose it. 3 and 2 and 1. Woo! Shake that out. I know that that standing glute is really firing. Go ahead and switch of the side. All right. Slight turnout, right? So first position, take it forward, flex the foot, externally rotate, hips are square, xiphoid process down. Here we go. Keep thinking, square hips and external rotation at the same time. And I know that leg is already tired because it was stable for so long. And hold it, isometric hold. That gives you an opportunity to check in with the rest of your body. All those cues that we like. Relaxed shoulders, relaxed face, relaxed neck. Here we go, circle it back. Circling it to the back, to the back, to the back. Because when we go to the back, you can really feel that glute kick in. And that's the reason for the direction. If you go the other way just to play with it, you'll see you don't feel it nearly so much. And hold, check in, right? Feel grounded to the floor, xiphoid process down. Here we go. Externally rotate, heel goes to the back. Pull it, pull it. I know these exercises are so small, so subtle, but they make a huge difference in your world. Three, and 2, and 1. Terrific. Let's stretch it out. So we're gonna go into a number 4 stretch, right? Just a simple number 4 stretch. You can take your hand and place it on the inside of your thigh, not your knee, please, but you can take it on your thigh, and you can ever so gently press downward if that feels good and safe to you and your nervous system, but it's not necessary if that doesn't feel good. Other side, inner thigh.
Am I the only person who gets SI joint popping when I do that?
No, not at all. So is it, you feel the SI joint popping oftentimes because it's popping back into place. Does that feel like that resonates, or does it feel like it's an uncomfortable feeling as though it's popping out of place?
Not uncomfortable. It actually just pops a lot, and that's one of the movements that it pops when I go into it, and it pops when I come out of it, of the number 4.
Okay. So we may have some muscles that are too loose around that area. So no matter what you're doing, it's like just shifting. Okay, so maybe you just take that to a much lesser level, just because it's not that it's not necessarily bad that it's popping, but we don't want it to be moving that much inside. So we can talk, you and I can talk maybe about some exercises to strengthen that area. Yeah, talk to me about that, Megan, because I can give you I can send you a little video for that, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do is grab your half dome. That's what I meant to say. And I love that you asked that question. Thank you so much, because SI joints are tricky. Tricky. Mat heads, or the pads, the toe pads, not the toes themselves, but the pads before the toes are at the top of the dome. And here we go. Take it down, down, touch, and up. Down, down, touch, up. Three more. Here's the last one. Take it up, hold right here. Find your balance. Drop that xiphoid. Get that core activated. Roll the shoulders. And then take the movement to the top. So take it up, up, up. And it's only going to feel like we're already up, right? So basically, what does that mean? That means that I'm pushing forward with my ankle bones. I'm pushing forward and lifting up a little bit higher. And I'm only moving maybe a millimeter or 2 millimeters, very small. Now, reverse it. So we're gonna take it down, down, down. I'm still way up high, but I'm just dropping so smallly. Smallly, it's a new word. I've just created it. I'm dropping in very tiny movements. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. I want you to be very secure. Maybe your chair is in front of you, or maybe you're gonna go use a table or a countertop for this. I'm actually gonna turn it. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna pull this back. Okay, so we're gonna go up onto our toes. So the toes are at the very top of the dome, and inhale. I'm doing it from the back just so you can see, but you would be doing it from the front. Here we go. Inhale, exhale, press your toes down, 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 down. And as you press the toes down, you are lifting up your body. Keep those ankles nice and strong. You can do this. Keep holding, keep holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, shake it out. That was a nice long hold. Take your toes, spread them wide before we do it again, and come back up. Toes are at the top of the dome. Inhale, exhale, push. Keep holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. We're gonna do it one more time. Just remember, I know this is hard, but your toes are so key to your balance through the rest of your life. You must be doing these exercises. Must, must, must. Inhale. Exhale. Press, press, press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now, the tricky thing about those toes is that if you are, we're actually gonna go into, let's go into banana foot. So med heads or toe pads are at the top of the dome, and you're just going to go out, take those ankle bones out to the side, and then inward. And I'm gonna talk while we do this. So what I was gonna say is that the interesting thing about toes is that depending on the person and how the shoes that they wear even, or they have their own patterns, their own habits and patterns, it may be that you have too much strength in that direction by pulling those, by pressing those toes into the floor. Because for a lot of people that wear flip-flops, that's really quite common. They have to press their toes down, and they get quite stuck in that position. So it may be that you have very strong muscles in that direction, and we need to strengthen them in the opposite direction. So actually, I'm going to start thinking about a way to make that an easy exercise for us to incorporate. So I'm going to think about that. But just know that for yourself, because not only, go ahead and stop. I'm going to have you look at your toes. Not only do you need the strength for balance, you also need the mobility through your toes. You need the flexibility through your toes. So I'd like you to be able to check your own toe mobility. So you need to be able to pull your toes up. And I hope you can see that angle. So for a lot of people, their toe becomes rigid, and you get a rigid hallux, and it gets stuck there. So if anybody have that where their toe is stuck? Good. If no one's responding, I'm going to take that as a good thing. But if you are watching the video later, because I know several of you are just watching the video later, and you do have a stuck hallux, please let me know, because we can work on that. You really need both. Okay. We are now going to stretch it out. Let's stretch it out. So, no turnout, please. No cheating the body of this great stretch. You're gonna press your heel down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it up, pull it up, pull it up, pull it up. Inhale. Exhale. And to the side. Hips to the other side. Switching. No turnout. Heel is down. Take the muscles, pull them up the back of the leg. Hold it. And hips to the side. Feel that stretch. Hips to the other side. Feel that stretch. Okay. Grab your weights. We're gonna do heavy and light if you have them. Grab your band if you have them as well. I'm gonna suggest, what do I want? I'm gonna go with a medium band, or actually this is an extra heavy band, what am I saying? But you may wanna go with a light, because what's more important is it's not the weight of the band, or the tension of the band. Really is the most important piece is what you do with your body in that movement. So you can absolutely do this without anything, no band, no weights. And we're gonna start there actually. If you do have, actually let's do it. If you have an extra light band, go ahead and grab it, because I would rather that we focus today with just the light band. Okay, so we've done this before, and I love to review it each time. We've got a lot going on. So we've got the rhomboids right here, right in between the shoulder blades, and we are going to activate the rhomboids by, with our mind, we're gonna activate the rhomboids. But you're gonna feel, as we activate, that these shoulder blades get pulled in toward one another, okay? But I don't want you to think, shoulder blades pulled. I want you to think in your mind, activate the rhomboids. Very different feeling. You're gonna feel when you do that the shoulder blades kind of wanna drop down and that they gently pull in toward one another. This is very different because we have 17 muscles that connect through here, and we can just yank on it, and a lot of people do. Don't get me wrong, I see it all the time, and they're yanking those shoulder blades together, but they're not connecting their mind to it, so they're not getting nearly as much out of it. Now, the next place that we're going to work is right here. It's a muscle that comes around and attaches to the rib cage, just like fingers, just like that. So it's literally right here, serratus anterior. We are going to use serratus anterior to lift. When you're doing that, I want you to bring your awareness to that muscle working and to feeling the shoulder blades, the scapula, drop down your back. The scapula are doing this down your back as you lift up. Okay, so there's movement through there. I really want you to feel that in your body. If we do it with lighter amounts of weight, hence the extra light, you're gonna feel the movement rather than, oh my gosh, I need to use my muscles. Literally every muscle will kick in to give you what you want. We just want a little bit of proprioception here. Okay, so roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale. Now I'm in a parallel position. From here, I'm really going to take my mind, close your eyes, and see the muscles between the shoulder blades. See them in your mind. Just make up a picture. It doesn't matter if that's actually what they look like. Make up a picture of these tissues that connect the shoulder blades together. Connect to that picture and see if you can activate them. when you're activating them, I want you to see if you can release other muscles that are activating too much. For instance, the back of the neck. See if you can activate it and soften the neck and pull the base of the skull diagonally upward. I'm going to say that again. See if you can activate the rhomboids between the shoulder blades and at the same time relax the neck, all the muscles in the neck, so you can take the base of the skull and gently reach it diagonally back and up. So you've lengthened through the whole back line there. And that chin now pulls back slightly, putting yourself in a much better position for your spine. Now drop the xiphoid process down. Again, you can do this without any band. So if you don't have a band, that's perfectly fine. Just be in the position. We've got the lightest band that we have. Now drop those arms on the inhale. We're going to do it again. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the movement coming from underneath the armpits. Feel the shoulder blades as they round down the back. Inhale, down. Feel those shoulder blades move. I want you to hold it. And now I want you to bring your awareness to the front of your chest. And you soften the front of your chest. Soften through the pecs. What happens when you soften? Can you feel your shoulders slide back? Now, once the shoulders have slid back, can you activate back behind those shoulder blades again? Get those rhomboids working again. Take an inhale, and on your exhale, soften the neck. See if you can pull the chin back a little bit by lifting the base of the skull slightly. And relax and shake it out. Woo, okay. So, love bringing in the awareness exercises because that really should be the start of any kind of workout, in my opinion, when it comes to working certain muscles. Find the awareness, create it, and then bring in the weights. Okay, since we just woke up those scapula, we're gonna go back into this one. We've been doing this for a while, but it's such a good one. Back and forth, full range of motion. Now mine are super active right now. I'm sure yours are too, because we brought our mind and our awareness there. Take your shoulder from the shoulder, not the arm. We're gonna externally rotate, soften the elbow so it bends, and then you can see that my bicep kicked in. I've locked it. Now I'm just thinking scapula back and forth. Extend it, internally rotate it, drop the shoulder down once you've internally rotated, pull back. Keep the neck soft, face soft. And release, other side. Full range. And neutral position. Externally rotate, soften the elbow, then lock the elbow. Focus on the scapula, drawing it back, pressing it forward. Internally rotate. You will not have the same range of motion in the internal or external versions of this, just so you know. Perfectly normal. Woo! Okay. Switch to our heavier weights. If you have a pair, I was just at Target. They had no weights. I keep checking because I just want everyone to have what they need at home. I can't find a distributor right now that can get any weights. I'm so sad about that, you guys. So I hope you have something. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Take your mind to your face. Take your mind to your skull. I want you to soften the tissue there. Around the ears, down the back of the head. It is crazy how many extra muscles will kick in for us. Our body is so super helpful most of the time, but sometimes it's too helpful. Okay, so I'm gonna take it to a slight bend. Okay, you can see that, slight bend. Drop the xiphoid process, keep the core engaged as always. I've softened my knees, you can see that, right? I've softened my knees. And now, from here, I'm going to take my elbow, and I'm thinking very specifically about my elbow. Reach my elbow forward. Take my elbow back. Full range to back. Exhale, press it forward. I'm not going all the way up. I have heavy weights. And it's not that I couldn't go up, but I'm choosing not to because I am trying to keep my chest and my face soft and my neck soft. And if I went higher, those would engage to help me. I don't need them to engage to help me. I want my brain and body to know I got this all on my own. Exhale to lift, as always. Inhale to draw back. Exhale to lift. Other side. Now we could have done that. A lot of people would have done that because it seems so small with two hands. And the reason why we didn't is because the body would have kicked in more. I would not have been able to focus my awareness on the one arm and all the muscles up the chain. Brain can only focus on so many things at once, guys. So stay focused, bring that awareness, check in with the pieces that should not be active right now. Just give me one more. All right, we're gonna switch it back over to lighter weights. I forgot to move everybody out of my way. They're all in my way today. Okay. Second position. Not hanging on the joints. Mid-range, please. And from there, take the toes. Let's tree frog them into the floor. So you're pressing the toes down and the arch lifts up. I am thinking about pressing through the floor and pressing against that ground force reaction, which is always pressing up. I'm gonna roll my shoulders back, drop my xiphoid process, and give myself some beautiful ballet arms, okay? So you do the same. Think about relaxing the muscles in the chest so they can open up a little bit wider. And now take those elbows up, elbows down. I thought we were gonna do a static move, but now I've decided to add in that plie, so never mind. You can go to your end range here. However, what I want you to think about is if you can't bring your awareness to your scapula, which is where I want it to go in a minute, then you're gonna keep it static right here. Then you're gonna be halfway. So I want you to notice the scapula moving. See how they draw up and down the back. And there's a slight tilt even to them as they come down. They have a slight tilt. Can you feel that inside? Now bring your awareness to your back. Bring your awareness to your low back. Feel those lats as they are working from here to your arm. Okay, feel that motion. Visualize it. If you were in class with me right now, I'd come along and I would touch your low back to bring that proprioception. So imagine that somebody is there touching that area. Bring your brain there, close your eyes, feel it. If that feels safe, if you feel balanced. If not, keep your eyes open. Hold. We're gonna switch it. Bring your awareness to your scapula. Feel that movement. Now it's quite different. The scapula are going like that, right? So feel it. And now think about low back. Feel the lats kick in. Hold right here. Walk it up. Bring it across. Feel the trapezius muscles, right? Trapezius kind of fill up this upper area up here and then go up into the neck. So see if you can keep the neck soft and the upper trapezius relaxed. Allow the mid traps and the low traps do their job. Just nice and slow. Hold right here. Relax through the shoulders. Can you get your shoulders to drop down even more in this position? Just hang out here for a minute, and every exhale, see if you can get it to drop a little lower. And relax it down. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Grab your mats, grab your ball, and probably have your blanket or towel nearby for bolstering, should we need it, or extra padding. Changing. Oh, you know what else I do want you to have by you is, I forgot, let's start there so that we can get rid of that. Grab your chair. You're gonna bring your chair over. And I'm gonna take maybe the towel for a little extra padding. And we're gonna go into a lot more spine work in a minute, but I wanna get this glute stuff out of the way. So my chair is here because I just want my upper body to be a little bit relaxed so that I can focus on my glute. So I'm going to take my xiphoid process as always, and I'm going to tuck it into my core. And again, I want you to see that. Here is my xiphoid process untucked. Here it is tucked. It's so small, untucked, tucked, but it makes a huge difference in the core. I know you can feel that. So next position, take your leg out. Actually, I'm going to do the other leg so you can see this glute working. Okay, so this is the glute that's working. When I'm in this position, like this, I have lengthened through the glute. In this position with my arm resting, I can put my hand, let's see, I can put my hand right here. I want you to put your hand here. And I want you to focus on the glute contracting and the glute releasing. When the glute releases, I'm going to stick my booty back. Squeeze, stick the booty back. Squeeze, stick the booty back. So why the chair? I'll tell you. Because without the chair, my nervous system, your nervous system, goes a little bit crazy and says, wow, we need to protect because she's not stable. So it's going to get all this other stuff working. We don't need that. So all we have to do is touch something with our palm, and the nervous system begins to relax. Feel that squeeze and release. Now, I want you just to squeeze and hold, isometric hold. While this is holding, relax other places. Go through your body. Check that other leg. Is that relaxed? Check your skull. Check where your tongue is. Check if you're clenching your teeth. How about your eyes? Shoulders. I'm going through my body pieces. The foot that's on this floor, right? Okay, so I can relax all of it, and it's just this glute that is remaining contracted, 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 and release. Woo! Okay. Other side. Xiphoid process. Palm is down. I reach it back, I squeeze it, I reach it back, I squeeze it, and I reach it back. You can keep your hand there, or if it's really, you've been with me a while and you know how to squeeze that glute, go ahead and put that other hand wherever you like. Good. Here's our squeeze. Here's the isometric hold. So go ahead and squeeze there. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Now, as it's holding, go through your body. What's overworking? What can you convince that you're safe enough to relax? It is a process, guys. We have to do that with every move. Even if I don't say it, I want you to be doing it. What can you relax? And release. Ooh, okay. Very, very nice. You can keep your towel because maybe you do want some extra cush for your knee. We're going to start getting into a little bit more spine stuff. Go ahead and pull back first and bring your, maybe you put your hand back here, or you just imagine it, but I want you to bring your breath right back to your sacrum. So I want you to inhale it and feel that breath go into the sacrum. This is a really wonderful exercise, whether you're on your back with your feet and calves up on a chair, or in this child's pose position to really fill up your sacrum and your low back with oxygen and breath to help the low back relax. All right, from here, widen through the fingers and go ahead and press down through the palms and through the fingertips. We're going to pull back. So I'm sorry, let me restart that. Take your xiphoid process and tuck it up into your core. Then pull back slightly. And from here, tuck the tailbone, very slowly going up the chain. And each vertebra is lifting, kind of like a cat-cow, and then being pulled and drawn forward. And then from the tailbone, pulling. And so I have untucked the tailbone. And now I'm going in the opposite direction, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to tuck the tailbone, moving through my spine, taking the base of my skull and pulling it forward. I can feel the stretch through the arms. Then untucking that tailbone. So that means my vertebrae are now dropping towards the floor. And at the same time, it's gently and slowly pulling me back. Tucking the tailbone, which means I'm slowly, slowly going up my spine, rounding my back, reaching the back of my skull forward, and then doing it over again. Untucking, dropping the vertebra towards the floor, one by one by one, nice and soft, nice and slow. And again. Now this time, I want you to take your toes and put them underneath you. And do it again. Keep that control. Don't be afraid to press into, we're going to do it one more time. This is the last time. Do not be afraid to press your palms and fingers into the floor. As you press, you can feel that lengthening through the arm. You can feel how strong your arms are to support you in that awkwardness, because it is a little bit awkward in that position. And then come back to center. Whew. Okay, from here, you're going to take your shoulder, left shoulder reaches toward left hip. Come back to center. Right shoulder reaches toward right hip. And again, each shoulder reaches toward that same hip. Remember, we cannot just think about the spine in one dimension, okay? So we have to think about all three, front and back, side to side, and rotation. So here we are getting in our side to side. Now this time bring your ear with you. So you can feel that lengthening through the cervical spine. Side to side lengthening, I should say. Take one hand, place it a little bit closer into the center. Come up and rotate down. Think about your hips staying square. Think about the rotation as though you have a line a piece of wood or a pole that goes through the center of your body, and you're rotating around that center.
Is breath out on the upward movement?
So I would say inhale up and exhale down. Now let's extend the arm and reach it through. No need to overextend this either, because we want the hips to stay square. Other side. Inhale up, exhale, rotate. And go ahead and take that arm, lengthen it, and come through. Again, does not have to be big and bold, because we are working internally here, guys. Create that visual internally. Two more. Okay. Take your ball or your rolled up towel. My ball rolled away. Okay. Going into core. We've done this before. Again, think about that pole coming through. And the reason why I use a pole, I mean, I know you have a pole, you have your spine, but being that the spine is at the back of the body, oftentimes that's hard for people to think about turning around it. They get stuck. If we use a pole that's centered, and we can just think about rotating the tissue around that pole, that's going to give you a better image and create a little bit more mobility. So take your ball and you're just ever so gently pressing into it with the palms. There is pressure, but it's like 3 pounds of pressure. You know, I'm not trying to kill the ball. Then I'm going to think about the bottom part of my rib cage reaching around that pole and maybe reaching toward that opposite knee point. I'm going to do it on the exhale, and I want the exhale to start prior to movement. So move at about, after you've exhaled, at least 30 to 50%. So I'm gonna exhale 30 to 50%, then I move my body, my shoulders stay behind, they stay relaxed and in alignment with my rib cage. They're not pulling me is what I mean. All right, here we go. Inhale. And then I begin the turn. Inhale. Back to center, exhale. And then I begin the turn. Now your breath is different than mine. It is different than your neighbor's. So you go with your breath. I'm going to stop telling you when to go. Just know 30 to 50% of exhale first, and then the turn. Shoulders are softened. In fact, they're so softened that when I go to exhale, before I even move, I think about softening through the front of my chest. When I can soften through the front of my chest, you're going to feel those shoulders drop back into their neutral and normalized position. That's where they should be. But we are so, and you can keep doing this as I'm talking. Go ahead and do your thing. But we are so used to having those shoulders come down by being on our phones, by being on our computers. Driving creates it. Playing instruments creates it. Being an artist creates it. There's so many reasons for us to be stuck in this position. Okay, so we inhale. As we exhale, we soften, 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 and then we move. You're gonna notice that changes the whole posture. The other way to change your posture through here is to take your rolled up towel, place it behind you, lift it slightly, place it behind you, and sit back. All I did was slightly lift my tailbone up and then slide this underneath. Okay, let's do it again. Soften, 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 soften. And last time, one more side. All right, we're going to come onto our backs. And if you have your band, I would suggest using it, but you can use either the light band just for proprioception, or you can use the heavier band. If you've done this with me before, it's been a while. So you get to choose it. I'm gonna set my feet a little bit wider than hip width. And I'm gonna make sure that my heels are kind of close to my tush. I want to inhale as low as I can. So I'm softening through my belly. I'm bringing my inhale down into my pelvic floor if I can. And as I exhale, just focus on feeling the pelvic floor draw up. And then inhale again. Pelvic floor extends. And as you exhale, pelvic floor draws up. What I'm doing is on the inhale, my pubic bone is reaching for the floor, meaning my pelvis is tilting. As I exhale, my pubic bone reaches gently more diagonally upward, meaning my pelvis tilts back and my low back reaches for the floor. So my low back reaches away from the floor and my low back reaches for the floor. That's it. And I'm just going back and forth and I'm utilizing my breath to create the movement. Now, my legs are working as well because they are trying to hold this band open. Okay, so that's their job. So you're gonna get this exercise works glutes, it works core, and it works spine, and it works breath. So we've got a lot going on. Now, the next step is, as I go to exhale, I'm going to press into my heels and I'm slowly, slowly, slowly lifting one vertebra at a time off of the floor. Keep the xiphoid process down, meaning I don't want this, so keep it down. Now I'm going to slowly reach my vertebra one at a time down into the floor. I'm controlling the movement, and then I inhale, I exhale, my sacrum lifts, then my vertebra one at a time. As I reach upward, I may need to pause my breath here as I begin the process of dropping back down and inhaling. Pause the breath as you reach the vertebra, and then you inhale when you get about mid-back. Pause the breath, inhale, mid-back. This is all about the control, guys. It's the control of the glutes and the legs, the core, the breath as you pause. You hold and then you inhale. all about the control. But within that control, I do want to say there is softness. It is not that I am so controlled that everything is active. What I mean by that is it's controlled and slow. And it's slow so that I can be aware of what's going on in my body and make adaptive changes to what needs to happen. I can relax certain muscles. I can make sure that other muscles are working to the best of their ability. So I'm not just sitting here doing the exercise. I am fully aware of each piece. And I'm checking in over and over and over again with different body parts. What's that one doing? What's that one doing? Keep switching it around. I don't let my mind wander. I want to know what's going on in my body. I'm not thinking about what I am cooking for dinner tonight. Okay. Let's be done with that one. And we're going to roll to our side. One hand is out, or you can use your towel. And my arm is internally rotated through here. So I've got this could be a towel. If you don't have a ball, this could be a rolled up towel. Take your xiphoid process and tuck it back into the core. I'm going to, if I choose to put a band on my legs, I can, but I'm actually not going to just because of time. So as I inhale, I bring the inhale into my rib cage, sides of the rib cage. As I exhale, I start the exhale, and at 50% of exhale, I'm going to gently press my palm into the floor, and at the same time, I'm going to lift that leg up. My knee is locked. My ankle is locked in position in a flexed position. When I come down, I have my hips stacked appropriately. Okay, so they're stacked. And I inhale again. Exhale. Inhale. As I inhale, I relax my shoulder, relax my hand, and then I exhale again. I begin the movement at 50% of exhale. That includes the movement of my arm pressing into the ball. Now yours may move a little bit quicker if you don't have the long breath, or you could take a breath here. So you could exhale and then take a breath and then exhale to move. Then you would pause and inhale. So you have two choices there. Take an extra breath in the middle of it, or make the move a little quicker. Other side. Again, one of these very subtle exercises that feels like maybe you're not noticing a whole lot going on. Trust me when I say if that happens, sorry, that's always getting in my way. If that happens, if you feel like I'm not getting anything out of it, it's so important that you go internal and begin to feel the processes working, because there's so much to think about here. There is no time for us to get bored and think nothing's working. Believe me, there's so much working right now. Keep the xiphoid process down in the core, internally rotate, inhale. We've got balance going on right here. We've got muscle activity through the glute, through the inner thigh, through the arm, through the core, through my back. Let's do one more. And set it down and release. Well done, you guys. All right, let's stretch it out. So I had a question via email the other day, and they were asking, let's go ahead and lift and drop the hip. They were asking how many barre classes are ideal to get the most out of it. So I thought I'd answer this. I did answer her, but I'm going to answer that question again on here. Since you have it now on video, I'm going to suggest that 3 barre classes a week are optimal. You can do so much with 3. 2 is great. 1, you know, it's okay. So I definitely would suggest, so we're going to make it bigger now, if you can get in at least 2, but 3 is great. 4 is at the most, okay? So 4 is max. What? And then the other question was, what would you do on the off side if you're not working on those days? I would say get your cardio in. I know some people don't think cardio is necessary, but I think for heart health, cardio is absolutely necessary. And cardio can be so many different things. My key to cardio is find something that you love. Make it bigger. So for me, that means Zumba, because Zumba to me is joy. Dancing is joy. But if dancing isn't your joy, you could go for a nice brisk walk. You could jog. If I have many clients that are runners and that is their absolute joy. If that's your joy, go for it. If hiking is your joy and you can, you know, hike fast and go up a mountain, that's cardio right there. So find your joy. And don't make cardio something that you have to suffer through. Now I'm using glute squeeze and release. Glute squeeze and release. And if it doesn't bring you joy, don't do it. My husband he's a cyclist, so he loves to cycle for his cardio. But honestly, when I get on a bike, I like to just tootle around. I'm not a fan of going super fast on a road bike. So that's not my thing. So I allow him to do that on his own. Take it to the side. And then the next biggest key to keeping your body moving is obviously what we're doing here, the flexibility portion, but flexibility can mean far more than just stretching out. So you can gain flexibility through relaxing the nervous system. And actually, you can't gain flexibility without relaxing the nervous system. So that's something to think about. Take your hips in and take your hips out. So finding time in your day to focus on relaxing the nervous system, on finding ease in the body. And that could mean stretching like what we're doing. If it was done in a very mindful manner, go ahead and lengthen through here. We're just softening up. We're letting the nervous system know what's coming. And I'm going to go back to what we're talking about in a minute, but hold on to that leg and now contract the muscles through the front of the body. So the quadricep muscles are now engaged and I'm trying to open up my leg. Notice that my hand doesn't allow it to open. And then I inhale, I exhale, and I try to soften the muscles here. Allow them to melt like butter as I pull my heel towards my tush. Now, what a lot of people will do is they'll contract through here and then try to pull their heel. They're contracted and they're trying to pull their heel. That's not going to get you anywhere, my friend. So you have to get the mind to relax that muscle. And that's part of the reason why we do this. So we are now letting the nervous system know what's coming. We're not just going to jam on it. we're giving it pre-warning. Contract through the quadriceps, try and open that leg. Inhale. Exhale, soften, 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 soften. Great. Come on over into the front. Toes go under. Inhale. Exhale. And take one foot. You're going to lift it, lift that leg, drop it behind the other leg. Soften through the front line. So the front knee, or the knee and the quadriceps of the front leg. And then lengthen through the back line of that same leg. But lengthen by relaxing. Other side. Lift, place it behind. Relax the kneecap, relax the quadriceps of the front leg. Lengthen through the back. And both feet are going to come into a wider stance. We're going to take the heels off the floor. We're going to walk the body back. Heels go down. And bring your pelvis down into that beautiful prehistoric squat. Oh, and take a deep breath. Find some relaxation somewhere. What is more relaxed than it was before? Wherever that is in your body, find it. And then I want you to thank it. And I want you to tell your brain, see how this feels, this relaxed, lengthened, enjoyable feeling. This is what I want more of in my body. Make a note of it. When you tell your brain, feel free to roll up when you're ready, but when you tell your brain what you want, it absolutely wants to help you get there. All right, so take notice of it, tell your brain, I like this, I want more of this, and your body will continue to give you more of it. Real quick, I just want to finish up what I was saying. So body rolling is an excellent source. Feldenkrais method, somatic movement, breath work, qigong, all of these pieces, just lying still on the floor with your back on the floor and your feet on a chair and your back of your calves on a chair, just laying there and breathing. That's an excellent way to feel more flexible and more pliable in your body. You're not actually even moving, but because the muscles are starting to relax and release in that position, you'll have more mobility later just by doing the breath work. You guys, thank you so much for being here today. Yay! Happy Monday to all of you. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you soon.